The Los Angeles Lakers, one of the most storied franchises in NBA history, are starting to show signs of life after a rocky start to their season. With 3 wins in their last 4 games, they're proving they have what it takes to compete in the crowded and ultra-competitive Western Conference. Fans are buzzing with hope as the team pushes to climb higher in the standings. But what's been the driving force behind this turnaround? LeBron James, the team's legendary leader, recently shared his perspective, and it all comes down to one thing: defense. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Let's break down where the Lakers currently stand and how they're finding success. First, let's talk about their recent performance. The Lakers have managed to turn things around after a frustrating 3-game losing streak, a stretch that left many fans questioning the team's ability to contend this season. But instead of crumbling under pressure, the Lakers rallied. They now find themselves in 7th place in the West, a position that's far from secure but certainly better than where they were just a few weeks ago. With the standings as tight as they are, every win matters, and the Lakers know they must keep the momentum going if they want to secure a spot in the playoffs and avoid the dreaded play-in tournament. A key factor in their resurgence has been the brilliant play of Anthony Davis. Davis has been nothing short of sensational this season, putting up MVP-caliber numbers night after night. He's currently averaging 27.5 points, 11.7 rebounds, and 2.2 blocks per game while shooting an impressive 53% from the field. His dominance on both ends of the floor has been a lifeline for the Lakers. Whether it's hitting clutch shots, controlling the boards, or swatting away opponents' attempts at the rim, Davis has been a force to be reckoned with. His ability to anchor the defense has allowed the team to compete even when other areas of their game are lacking. Then there's LeBron James, the ageless wonder. At nearly 40 years old, James continues to defy expectations and prove why he's considered one of the greatest players of all time. His scoring, passing, and leadership have been critical for the Lakers. While his defensive effort has been questioned in recent years, James has stepped up in the past few games, showing that he's still capable of making an impact on that side of the floor when it matters most. So, what's been the biggest factor in the team's recent success? When asked about it, James didn't hesitate to highlight defense as the cornerstone of their turnaround. Defensively, I think the number one thing is accountability and holding your man, James said. Understanding that we can't just allow blow-bys or whatever the case may be, but also staying connected with the other 4 guys on the court. And it starts with communication. I think we've communicated very well over the last 4 games, and we need to keep that going. It's clear that James values effort and teamwork on the defensive end. His comments reflect the importance of everyone doing their part, not just individually but collectively. Defense isn't just about stopping your own man, it's about trusting your teammates and working as a unit. That's something the Lakers seem to be embracing more in recent games. However, some might interpret James's remarks as a subtle criticism of D'Angelo Russell, who has long struggled on the defensive end. Known for his offensive skills, Russell's defensive shortcomings have often made him a liability. It's one of the reasons he was recently moved to the bench, a decision that seems to have benefited the team overall. With Russell in a reserve role, the Lakers have been able to focus more on defensive intensity and effort, which has been a noticeable improvement. As the trade deadline approaches, there's speculation that the Lakers might look to make a move to further bolster their defense. Russell, with his sizable expiring contract, could be an attractive trade piece for teams looking to clear cap space or add a scoring guard. For the Lakers, moving Russell might open the door to acquiring a player who can contribute more on the defensive end, something they desperately need if they want to make a deep playoff run. In the meantime, the Lakers continue to rely heavily on Anthony Davis to anchor their defense. Davis's shot-blocking ability and presence in the paint have been invaluable. He's one of the best rim protectors in the league, and his ability to clean up mistakes around the basket allows the Lakers to take more risks on the perimeter. Whether it's contesting shots, grabbing rebounds, or switching onto smaller players, Davis does it all. LeBron James, for his part, seems to recognize the importance of leading by example. While his defensive effort has been inconsistent in recent years, he's made a noticeable push to step up on that end of the floor during this winning stretch. As the team's leader, James knows that his actions set the tone for everyone else. If he's giving maximum effort on defense, it's hard for his teammates not to follow suit. The Lakers' defense is far from perfect, but the improvements they've shown in recent games are a step in the right direction. With Davis dominating in the paint, James stepping up as a leader, and the team focusing on communication and accountability, there's reason to believe they can continue to build on this momentum. As the season progresses, the Lakers will face tougher challenges and more pressure to perform. But if they can maintain their defensive intensity and continue to trust one another, they'll have a real shot at making noise in the playoffs. For now, their focus remains on taking it one game at a time, and that starts with keeping up the energy and effort on defense. The message from LeBron James is clear. Defense wins games, and for the Lakers, it might just save their season. The most talked about issue in the NBA right now isn't the action on the court. It's the league's declining TV ratings in the United States. Over the last decade, the NBA has experienced a massive drop in viewership, losing nearly half of its audience since 2012. For some fans, this decline reflects dissatisfaction with the modern style of play, which they perceive as less physical and overly reliant on three-point shooting. However, Lakers head coach J.J. Redick sees the problem differently. In his view, the media bears much of the blame for the league's struggles to retain its audience. First of all, I don't think the media does a great job celebrating the excellence of today's basketball, Redick said in a recent press conference. When a casual fan turns on the TV and hears people saying the game is bad, why would they want to watch? That's what's been happening for the last 10 to 15 seasons, and honestly, I don't understand it. To me, it's almost funny because the talent level has never been higher. Redick's comments seem to take aim at Inside the NBA, TNT's long-running post-game show. While the program is beloved for its humor and sharp commentary, it often includes harsh critiques of players and the current state of the league. Iconic hosts Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal, in particular, are known for romanticizing the NBA of their era and criticizing today's stars for perceived shortcomings. Redick believes this approach does a disservice to the league by perpetuating a narrative that the NBA's best days are behind it. The basketball in this league deserves way more praise, Redick continued. We're more talented and skilled now than ever before. That's not up for debate, it's a fact. There are more elite players in the league today than there were 18 years ago, and there are more great teams now as well. But instead of celebrating that, we're stuck in this cycle of negativity, where people keep talking about how the game isn't what it used to be. Redick's argument about the league's talent is supported by the numbers. Today's players are faster, stronger, and more skilled than ever before, thanks to advances in sports science, nutrition, and training techniques. Teams are deeper, and even role players now have skill sets that were rare among superstars just 2 decades ago. The game has evolved to emphasize spacing, ball movement, and three-point shooting, creating a style of play that rewards versatility and creativity. Yet, despite this progress, the narrative from some corners of the media remains rooted in nostalgia. I get it. People love their memories of the past, Redick said. But we need to move forward and recognize what we have in front of us. The talent in this league right now is incredible, and the competition has never been better. If we don't appreciate that, we're missing the bigger picture. Another point Redick emphasized is the unprecedented level of parity in the NBA today. Over the past 7 seasons, 7 different teams have won championships, including franchises from smaller markets like Milwaukee and Denver. Only 3 teams have reached the NBA Finals more than once during this period, a stark contrast to the dominance of super teams in previous decades. Just 5 years ago, people were questioning why we even had a regular season because everyone already knew who the finals teams would be, Redick said. Now, we have parity and balance. But instead of celebrating that, all we hear are criticisms. Look at how strong the Western Conference is right now, yet the narrative is still about tearing down the product. The Lakers' recent victory over the Sacramento Kings serves as an example of the competitive depth in the league. We played the Kings, who currently have a losing record. But it's not because they're a bad team, they're fantastic and incredibly talented. The level of competition in the league today is unbelievable, Redick argued. You look at a team like Sacramento, and you realize how many great players and coaches we have right now. It's a golden age for basketball, but you'd never know it from listening to some of the coverage. While Redick is critical of traditional media, he also pointed to the role of social media in shaping public perception of the NBA. Platforms like Twitter and Instagram amplify the voices of critics, creating a narrative that the league is in decline. This, in turn, influences how the media covers the NBA, perpetuating a cycle of negativity. We don't have anyone standing up and saying how amazing the game is or truly appreciating it, Redick said. Of course, that doesn't mean criticism is off limits, but we need to recognize and celebrate more. Right now, It feels like no one is doing that. Even the discussion about viewership only became a hot topic because we're listening too much to what's being said on social media. Redick also highlighted the way social media can distort reality, giving outsized influence to a vocal minority of critics. The loudest voices on social media aren't always the majority, but they shape the narrative. And when the media takes their cues from those voices, it creates this echo chamber of negativity. That's not good for the league or the fans. Redick's frustration is rooted in his passion for the game and his desire to see it thrive. He believes the NBA has all the ingredients for success: unprecedented talent, competitive balance, and global appeal, but it needs better storytelling from the media to connect with fans. "I'm not saying we shouldn't have debates or critiques, that's part of sports," Redick said. "But we also need people who are willing to stand up and say, 'This is amazing.' We need to celebrate the game more because it deserves it. The NBA is in a great place, and it's time we start acting like it." As the league navigates its viewership challenges, Redick's perspective offers a compelling reminder of what makes basketball special. By focusing on the talent, competition, and excitement that define today's NBA, he hopes to shift the narrative and inspire fans to rediscover their love for the game. For Redick, the message is clear: the NBA is better than ever, and it's time to start celebrating it. Trade rumors are swirling around the NBA, and one veteran guard has quickly become a focal point of discussions: C.J. McCollum. The New Orleans Pelicans, struggling with a disappointing 5-23 record, are now exploring significant trade possibilities. Injuries to key stars Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram have derailed their season, forcing the front office to re-evaluate their approach. According to NBA insider Brett Siegel, the Pelicans are open to trade offers for nearly every player on the roster, excluding their rising stars Trey Murphy III and Herb Jones. Among those available, McCollum has emerged as the centerpiece of trade speculation. McCollum's name being floated in trade talks should come as no surprise. The 33-year-old guard has long been known for his offensive skill set, his ability to perform under pressure, and his leadership both on and off the court. Currently in the second year of a 2-year, $63.9 million contract, McCollum is earning $33.3 million this season and is set to make $30.6 million in the next. Despite the Pelicans' struggles, McCollum has delivered consistently solid performances, averaging 20.9 points, 3.9 assists, 3.8 rebounds, and 1.2 steals per game. He's shooting 43.6% from the field and 32.5% from beyond the arc, showing he can still contribute as a top-tier scorer. In addition to his offensive prowess, McCollum brings an underrated defensive edge to the table. While he's not considered a lockdown defender, his ability to hold his own on that end of the floor, combined with his leadership and versatility, makes him an attractive option for teams looking to contend. As the February 6th trade deadline approaches, two franchises have emerged as strong candidates to acquire him: the Los Angeles Lakers and the Orlando Magic. For the Los Angeles Lakers, the interest in McCollum makes perfect sense. Currently holding a 15-12 record, the Lakers are looking to build momentum as they aim for a deep playoff run. However, there are gaps in their roster that need to be addressed. The team has three primary targets heading into the trade deadline: a defensive center to protect the rim, a 3-and-D wing who can space the floor and guard multiple positions, and a guard capable of defending at the point of attack. While McCollum isn't a traditional defensive specialist, his ability to score efficiently and defend opposing guards makes him an intriguing option. A potential pairing of McCollum with LeBron James and Anthony Davis could be formidable. McCollum's scoring ability would take pressure off LeBron and AD, while his veteran presence and high basketball IQ fit perfectly with the Lakers' championship aspirations. However, making the trade work financially will require some sacrifices. To match McCollum's salary, the Lakers would likely need to include D'Angelo Russell and Rui Hachimura in the deal. Russell is currently in the final year of his 2-year, $18.6 million contract, while Hachimura is playing under a 3-year, $51 million deal with $17 million guaranteed this season. Together, their contracts align closely with McCollum's salary, creating a plausible trade scenario. What makes McCollum such a valuable trade target is his combination of experience, leadership, and versatility. Few players in the league can seamlessly contribute on both ends of the court while also serving as a mentor to younger teammates. For teams like the Lakers and Magic, who are striving to solidify their postseason aspirations, McCollum represents a rare opportunity to elevate their rosters without completely dismantling their existing cores. The Lakers, with their win-now mentality, could see McCollum as the missing piece to contend for another championship in LeBron's twilight years. Pairing McCollum with a dynamic duo of James and Davis could unlock a new level of offensive firepower, allowing the Lakers to compete with Western Conference powerhouses. On the other hand, the Magic view McCollum as a stabilizing force who can complement their rising stars and provide a veteran presence in high-pressure playoff scenarios. With the Pelicans reportedly open to deals, McCollum's name will likely continue to dominate headlines as the trade deadline nears. The Lakers, Magic, and potentially other teams are undoubtedly evaluating their options to acquire him. For New Orleans, moving McCollum could represent an opportunity to focus on developing their younger talent while retooling for the future. In summary, the Pelicans are exploring trades, with C.J. McCollum emerging as their most tradable asset. McCollum's contract and consistent production make him a highly sought-after piece for contending teams. The Lakers may offer a package centered around D'Angelo Russell and Rui Hachimura, while the Magic could include Cole Anthony in their proposal. Both teams see McCollum as a way to improve their playoff chances and address current roster deficiencies. As the deadline approaches, the fate of McCollum could have a significant impact not only on the Pelicans but also on the trajectory of the Lakers, Magic, and the NBA playoff race as a whole. Will McCollum don the purple and gold alongside LeBron and AD? Or will he head to Orlando to help guide a young, hungry Magic team? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear: McCollum's name will remain at the center of NBA trade chatter in the weeks to come.